everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight we have with us a special guest to introduce us to his band. We have Brian Williams of the Florida-based band Carrion Curse. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Okay, so Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself. First, who are some of the bands that influenced you as a musician?
Oh, man. Well, I would have to say Morbid Angel at 14 was, like, what really got me into death metal. And from there, like, it was friends getting me into, like, Slayer and other heavy bands of the time, which was, like, mid-90s, just to date myself, you know. I'm kind of young. But, yeah, from there, I decided that I wanted to be in a band at, like, 15, and, like, you know, tried to do a bunch of garage bands with friends in high school, and nothing really, like, picked up. And it wasn't until I was, like, 18 that I really joined a kind of established local band here in my town, and that was called Breathe, and that band existed for a couple years, and we did, like, one big show opening up for Soulfly here in town. And it was just us and Soulfly because, like, all the other bands canceled because of, like, a hurricane. And the hurricane didn't even come. So it was a pretty cool night. I, like, came home from work, and then my guitarist hit me up, and he was like, hey, you want to open for Soulfly? And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this shit. But I'd have to say, because of that, Soulfly would be another big influence on me. I really like Max Cavalera. And I've really dug, like, the whole Sepultura into Soulfly. Like, you know, I grew up with the whole Soulfly 1 and 2 and stuff, so, like, that was, it was kind of cool to go back and listen to Sepultura and be like, damn, I kind of like this better.
Now you are the singer in the band, so tell us about how you discovered death metal vocals and that you could actually pull this stuff off.
Well, like, referring back to my story, it was Morbid Angel, hearing Domination, just that, we will dominate, like, that right there kind of, like, opened my eyes and, like, wow, that's cool, I want to do that. And it was basically, the more things I heard, I tried to imitate and mimic to, like, I guess that's how I build my own style, because you don't really know, like, school of screaming to go to, like, learn how to do the shit. You kind of have to do it your own.
So,
and oh, sorry.
No, that's good. Go ahead.
Oh, so basically all I did was try to listen to as many different genres of metal and whatnot to just build my own style and figure out what I like and what I don't like. So that's pretty much that.
So, Brian, tell us a little history now behind Carrion Curse. Now, why you started a band, who's in it, how long you've been around, and that kind of thing.
All right. Well, to begin that, before Carrion Curse, there was a band called Driven. And that existed with me and Freddie Cash and two of the original members of Carrion Curse. And I joined that band in 2011, I think. 11 or 12. Because it was in 2012 that Driven went down to Tampa to open up for Possessed at the Crowbar before they went to the Barge for Hell or something like that. I think that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And we were the opening band for that show. And that was pretty cool. But from there, Driven kind of, like, fell apart. And I went on to do a couple of other bands. And that's when I met John Hugginson, our drummer. And me and him basically bonded really well. And that's funny because I don't normally get along with a lot of drummers. And just because not a lot of drummers in my town they like to pretend they're the real deal, but maybe aren't. And John's actually one of the few guys that actually he fucking puts his money where his mouth is, and he fucking does what he does. And like a lot of people may not think he's the best, but he's got it where it counts, kind of like the Millennium Falcon. But yeah, so me and him, we're in a couple bands, and they fell apart because that's what most Tallahassee bands do. And pretty much when that happened, I was like, damn, I want to play some heavy shit. Let me hit up Freddie. So I hit Freddie up, and I was like, hey, dude, you still want to play? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I pretty much introduced him to John, and that's kind of how Carrion Curse got started. And we pretty much brought in Dan and Brian, the original guitarist and bass player that carried over from Driven. And this was about 2014. And we pretty much rehearsed for about a good half a year to a year. And then Freddie has like all the recording equipment at his house. So we just go to Freddie's and we laid down all the tracks for the first album, Feast of the Maggots. And by that time we had played some shows. Like we did our CD release show in like 2015. And then our second show was opening up for Black Dahlia Murder, which was pretty cool. And then we played a couple of shows in the region, like up in Georgia, one like in Alabama, and then like we played at the Mug. And then about this time, we decided to part ways with Brian. For, you know, we had our reasons and whatnot. And a fellow musician who was living in town, Chris Ashby, that's when he said he'd join, and he stepped up and played some shows with us for about 6 months. And then some personal things went down with his life, and he had to depart, and that's when we got Dale. And I'm so fucking glad to have Dale. He shreds. Me and him bond on a way that I never thought we would. And so he joined the band. This is like early 2000. Oh, I guess that's early this year. Wow. Time flies. And we now have Steven Larsh at bass as of October. Anyway, so Dale joined the band. We play... No. Oh, yeah. Okay. Dale joined the band early this year. Then about May or June, I can't remember, but that was when Dan decided that he was ready to hang it up, and we parted ways with Dan, and we had our friend Jesse come in and fill in for a little bit, and that's when we had the shows with Eamon. And we played, oh God, I'm trying to remember. All right, first we did our like one annual show here in Tallahassee, opening up for Gorguts. That was cool. We have footage of that on our YouTube channel. And then the weekend after that, I think, was when we went to Miami and that was pretty fun. Like, it was really cool experience to like actually go to the other end of the state and get a taste of what their scene's all about. And I'm definitely envious because we do not have fans and a scene like that, but we also don't have bands like they have down there either. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. And so we went down to Miami, played. It was fun. Had a little bit of a technical difficulties with the power, but we pulled through. And then after that, I think we did play with Eamon again in Tampa at the Mug. And that was the show that George Corpse Grinder was at. And it was so awesome because it was like Diabolic. So it was Kelly and Jerry and all those dudes and Ulcer and those guys. Those are some awesome dudes. And then Eamon, which, you know, they're pretty cool. I'm pretty good friends with them now. And we just tore it up. It was a badass show. And I remember at the end of Eamon's set, I had seen Corpse Grinder right up front, just singing along with all the old Deicide songs. And so, like, they get done, Eamon gets done, and they go backstage. I go to Eric, and I was like, hey, bro, Corpse Grinder was singing along, like, line by line. How cool would it be if he came on stage and did one with y'all? And that's when Eric was like, go ask him. And that's what I did. And next thing you know, Eamon comes back out on stage with Corpse Grinder. And they fucking kill it. It was so epic. And I know there's, like, you know, it was all over, like, Metal Sucks and all that. So there's definitely footage of that out there for everyone to go check out. And that was at the end of the summer. And basically we took time off from shows to work on new material. And we had also at this time got confirmed for Swarmfest, which was last month. And that was pretty cool too. And a lot of awesome bands. I wish there would have been a little more of attendance, but it was a pretty good turnout. But that's the price you pay when you live in a big town and there's like competing metal shows across town. For instance, Cattle Decapitation was playing the same night we were playing, opening up for Phobia. And sure enough, Travis Ryan shows up at the Mug. And like I ended up getting to hang out with him. That was pretty cool. And basically after that, we've just been working on new stuff. And we now have a new 4-song demo out on our Bandcamp, Reverb Nation, and like SoundCloud and all that. And you can go there and listen to it, called A Curse on the World. And that's pretty much where we're at right now, other than working on some new tracks, because we want to take the 4-song demo and eventually add like maybe 6 to 8 more songs and put out our second album.
So the next album is going to be another full length.
Yeah, it's basically going to be an extended version of A Curse on the World.
And Brian, so what do you guys got going on now with the band? Like, do you got some stuff lined up for the new year, or are you going to be, you know, working on getting your album out? And do you know about when you want to release this?
It's kind of like a slow going process with us. Like, every goal that we put out, we accomplish. We just may not do it in the time that we'd like to. It just takes a little bit longer due to like family lives and personal lives and stuff. But for right now, we're hoping to maybe have the other songs written and recorded by the summertime. I'm hoping. But we'll see how it goes. But as far as shows, as of now, in March 17th at the Brass Mug, we're going down to open for Brutality. And we're going to be playing with Generichrist and Lineage. And then following that, April 6th and 7th, we will be heading back down to South Florida, first to play April 6th in Orlando at Bombshells, I think that's right, with Alpheus, I can't pronounce their name, and Evolution. And we're still actually trying to add maybe 1 or 2 bands to that show. So if anybody in the Orlando area hears this and they're interested, like, hit me up. And then after that, the following day, the Saturday, April 7th, we will be part of Black Cult Fest 5 in Miami at the legendary Churchill's. And so all our friends in Miami, y'all need to come out and see us again and come party with us because it's going to be awesome. And that's about all we have for the moment. But you know, it changes week to week. We could be offered something cool or we could not. So that's about all we have lined up.
So Brian, okay, so what's like the best place for people to follow the band?
Oh, please follow us on Facebook. I mean, dude, you could just Google us and find us. Like, there's no other band with our name. We got a .com, the carrioncurse.com. We got YouTube. We got Facebook. We got Twitter. But mainly Facebook is the main outlet for the band to get in contact with us. And yeah, basically check us out.
Okay, so well, there you guys have it. Carrion Curse from Florida. Check them out on Facebook so you can follow what's going on with the band, including new releases. And Brian, thank you so much for coming on the show and introducing the listeners to your band and for your continued support of us here at the station. And all the best to you and the band in the new year. We'll definitely be talking to you again in the new year when that album comes out.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller. Much love and respect. And be there in the chat room to talk to all you cats.